Okay, Colorado, so let's just, let's go through the numbers here, okay? So let's go through the numbers of all the initiatives. We had 10, 11 initiatives, so what happened, Colorado? What do these numbers mean? What do they say? Besides Kanye West being the strong, very strong third-party candidate, what else is Colorado trying to tell us? So I'm going to go through, amendments C, B, 76, 77, 114, 115, all the way to 118. I'm going to go through them all. But first, I just want to mention that here in Colorado, we're going to be okay. What's going to happen with America, I don't know. We've had right-wingers, the Democrats are the Republicans, and the Republicans are batshit crazy. And so where's the spectrum? The spectrum is just already just so far off the charts. We're not even having, what is truth? We don't even know what the truth is. Our president just said he basically won. And if he didn't win, it's fraud, right? He basically won. He lost. He didn't get all the votes, but the Electoral College is going. So, he basically won, right? He's a cheater, so, he's got to tell his supporters he can't say he's a loser. He can't say that he lost the election. He was a total dickhead, a piece of shit fucking president, right-wing fascist fuck. They gave, just unleashed fascism, unleashed racism, unleashed all these terrible ideas and was a constant dick. Every day he said something fucking shitty. Lied 15,000 times. Nobody knows what the hell is going on and what isn't going on. Ultimately, he's the man, and just follow him no matter what because he knows all. That's a cult of personality. So, give him props for being politically astute. But, the Jan Führer, I don't even, what the fuck? Half the country apparently are a bunch of Nazis. So I'm not sure it's going to happen to America, right? But Colorado is okay. The conversation should be between, liberal and conservative, socialism and anarchy. It should be between, that's where the conversation should be. And so I want it to be in the Democratic Party. I want the progressives and the neoliberals, the conservative Democrats and the liberal Democrats to essentially hash it out and just kind of kick the fucking Republicans to the curb. So Colorado's going to be okay. Colorado is a blue state. We have a lot of stuff here in Colorado. We have referendum initiative and recall. We got a lot of democratic tools. The people have lots of power in Colorado. And the powers that be can't do shit. We had 11 initiatives for 2020. We also got Jared Polis, the first gay governor. We got Jared Polis. We got progressives. Steve Romero, Robert Espinoza in Castilla County, and Danny Sanchez, and Alonzo Payne for the 12th Judicial District. We got a progressive Bernie Sanders endorsed district attorney here in Castilla County in the 12th Judicial District, which would be 6 counties, right? So Saguache and Conejos and whatever. So legal marijuana, Colorado, we got legal marijuana here. Montana, New Jersey, South Dakota, and Arizona all are now part of the elite 15 freedom states. I think that the 15 freedom states, we should just be diplomatic. We should be talking to. We should go to Montana, look at their marijuana, talk to their marijuana. New Jersey, South Dakota, Arizona. We're not really allowed to trade with them unless, with the federal laws of interstate commerce. But if you're right next door, right, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, and Washington, I think they should be trading marijuana up and then just, fuck the feds. Kick the feds out of those areas. They're not welcome in the states. The states ultimately the states are supposed to have all the power, right? And we're just part of this sort of federal, anyways. So Colorado, we got legal marijuana. We got democracy here. We got, a lot of progressive leaderships. We are part of the Elite 15 Freedom States plus D.C. Just recently, we passed family medical leave. Family medical leave. We're going to take care of our babies here in the Centennial State. Here in Colorado, we take care of our kids. America doesn't have family medical leave. So the United States, Americans, they don't take care of the damn kids. They don't care about universal health care. They don't care about the lives of Americans or the children. But here in Colorado, my, little pothead state's all grown up. My little pothead state is all grown up. We are taking care of our babies here in the Centennial State. Proposition 118 passed. 57% said yes, 1.7 million. 43% said no, 1.3 million. So the family medical leave is going to pass. And here's a statement from Neera Tanden. Apparently, she's CEO of the Center for American Progress. She issued the following statement. Colorado voters Passage of a strong paid family and medical leave ballot measure is a resounding victory for working families, guaranteeing 2.6 million Coloradan workers access to this critical benefit. This historic win is the result of powerful organizing on the ground from CAP's coalition partners and demonstrates the immense public support for paid leave policies. Voters have sent a clear message that they support progressive work and family policies that allow workers to care for themselves and their families without risking their economic security, which is especially important in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. This victory also has new momentum in the fight to win a permanent national paid family and medical leave policy. Far too many workers across the country lack access to any form of paid leave and are forced to make impossible choices between recovering their health or caring for a new child and maintaining their job or a paycheck. As the emergency paid leave policies passed in response to the coronavirus are set to expire at the end of 2020, Congress must act to follow public support and guarantee paid leave for all. So this is Colleen Seeberger, the AmericanProgress.org. Washington, D.C. On Election Day, voters in Colorado overwhelmingly approved Proposition 118 to create a permanent paid family and medical leave insurance program in the state. Colorado is the first state to pass such a policy by ballot measure and joins 8 states in the District of Columbia with paid family and medical leave policies beginning January 2024. Proposition 118 will provide Colorado workers with 12 weeks of paid leave to recover from their own serious health condition, care, or for a serious ill family member. I'm going to get through, I'm just going to read what the results are for the rest of the initiatives, and if I want to, delve in deeper for the rest of them. The wolves is, by the skin of the chinny chin chin. I'll end with the wolves. So right now we are going to release the wolves, but the Proposition 114, there's only a 20,000 vote difference, 1.496 million versus 1.475 million. So Proposition 114, 50.3% says yes, 49.66% say no. Should we release the wolves? We're not 100% sure, and it could trigger a recount if it's very narrow. So, let's just start from the top. Where are we at? Constitutional amendments. Amendment B. Amendment B, this is to raise the taxes on the residential rates on the houses. So Amendment B says, should we raise taxes on the homeowners? Yes, we're going to repeal the Gallagher Amendment, and we're not going to do the 55-45% ratio anymore. That was 57%, which is greater than 55%. To pass a constitutional amendment here in Colorado, you need greater than 55%. And so greater than 55%, 57% is greater, and so therefore, but Amendment C is going to pass or fail because it got 52%. It passed. The bingo, there was, the religious institutions was trying to do some gambling or something. They tried to get, some added benefits, but it failed ultimately because it didn't get above 55%. To pass a constitutional amendment, you need 55% or more, which is kind of, insane. It's more than the majority. It's just like slightly more than the majority. But Amendment B passes, so all of our home, all the house residential taxes are going to go up. And it was kind of crazy that it passed so overwhelmingly. $500,000 difference, $500,000, between the yes and the no's of raising our taxes of the homeowners. So we're going to raise that tax. We're going to raise another tax, Proposition EE, the nicotine vaping tax. That passes 68%. 2 million said yes, 32% said no. So that's another overwhelming. That's like that's too liberal. Some people want to say that we got too many taxes. We got, we're a blue state. So we've got to, tighten up our belts, and we got to, stay within our budget. We cannot overspend. This is ridiculous. You cannot overspend. So tax too liberal. It's too liberal with the raising homeowners tax, and now we're going to do nicotine and vaping. Vaping just came on the market. Now we're going to, tax the shit out of it. Will it go to the stuff that they say it goes to? And if it doesn't, is somebody going to correct the record and make sure that we... So, yeah, the bingo halls, the religious institutions, they don't get any, extras, but the Cripple Creek, the casinos, Amendment 77, that passed, 60% said yes, 1.7 million, and 1.2 million, 40% said no, so that's a $500,000 difference. That's about as big of a difference as Amendment B. So should we raise the homeowners' taxes and repeal the Gallagher Amendment? Coloradan says, hell yes, let's raise all the taxes of the homeowners. When it came to Amendment 77, they said, should we allow the casinos to get brand new games and to make sure that there's no maximum wagers. So that means people are going to lose their shirt, their farm, their house. They're going to lose their, college fund for their children, and even the casino might lose their own house. The house could lose the house too. So that could be $1 million bet. I remember seeing Little House on the Prairie. There was the owner of the casino wanted to play a hand of poker against some billionaire drunk that was rich as shit, but he thought he could beat him at poker, and he did beat him at poker. But he put the whole casino up on the line. And so what would have happened if the drunk billionaire would have won? Then the man would have lost his casino. So I don't know. I mean, the idea of the casino losing themselves, I don't hate that totally, but just be careful over there, Cripple Creek and the other casino counties in next to Cripple Creek. And let's see what else. Amendment 76. So we got a little bit of xenophobia, right? So we got, we believe in libertarian, we believe in casinos here in Colorado, right? With Amendment 77, we're saying the casinos could do more stuff, but we're saying bingos in the religious institutions, they can't do more stuff, right? If you're going to be religious, you got to be good, through and through. You can't be, doing Cripple Creek kind of shit. And then Amendment 76, this is xenophobic. So should we change every to only citizen before, let's see, the Colorado Constitution said that every citizen had a right to vote, which means every, Coloradan citizen had a right to vote, but they wanted to change it to only citizens have a right to vote. So only Coloradan citizens. I don't know what the fucking difference or what the point was, but this one did pass the, bigger than 55%. It is an amendment, so it's a constitutional change, a constitutional amendment. So Cripple Creek Amendment 77 is going to pass. Amendment 76, the xenophobic of changing just one word, right, from every to only citizen. That's it. That's all Amendment 76 does. And then Amendment B also passes, raising homeowner taxes by repealing the Gallagher Amendment. But Amendment C, the bingo hall, they don't get any, so no. No on Amendment C, yes. Amendment B, yes. Amendment 76, yes. Amendment 77, yes on Proposition EE with the nicotine vaping tax. And let's get to the propositions, okay? So the propositions, yes, 52%, no, 48%. That's 1.6 million said yes versus 1.4 million who says get rid of that goddamn shitty-ass fucking electoral college. Fuck that electoral college. Fuck that electoral college up. Fuck it to hell. So, I could not lose with Proposition 113. The Republican, we live in a blue state. So you stupid fucks want to keep this a blue state? Thank you. I'm glad those Republican dumb fucks are against the Electoral College because that keeps Colorado a blue state for a long time. Now, if we do get rid of the Electoral College, that's the right way because it's against democracy and it was stupid. It should never been, we should never have had the Electoral College to begin with. It was fucking bullshit. Proposition 113 is fantastic. It's the interstate agreement compact where we agree that if America votes for one candidate over the other, so let's just assume Donald Trump wins the popular vote and loses the Electoral College. What Proposition 113 says is that we're going to give our votes to the majority victor. We're going to give our votes to the one that wins because that's how elections should be. The one with the most votes wins. So this interstate compact is just fantastic. I just absolutely love it. And 52%, 48%, we fucking passed it. So, we were on the right side of history. Jared Polis, he knows that it's an ancient relic, that the Electoral College just needs to be tucked away and, put to bed. Just say goodnight to the Electoral College forever and ever. And so it passed, so I'm very happy about Proposition 113. That's a good thing, right? So we're getting a couple good things. Cripple Creek, that's kind of a good thing for freedom. Amendment 76, a little xenophobic. The bingo hall, religious people, I think we should have gave them a break too. And Amendment B, so this is a lot of bad stuff, right? So Lauren Boebert shit, just a bunch of bad, awful Lauren Boebert bullshit, right? Just raising taxes on all the homeowners, raising taxes on nicotine and vaping, and the xenophobia of Amendment 76, changing one word, every to only. Is that, really going to solve all of our problems? Okay, whatever. So, Proposition 113, fuck the Electoral College. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Colorado. So, we're doing good here in Colorado. We are doing fantastic. We got family medical leave that passed. Proposition 118, right, passed by, 57 to 43, so by, 400,000 votes. So, a nice, comfortable margin there. Proposition 117, this is Tabor. So, we're against, brand new enterprises for the state. This is going to, affect universities and other shit. So this is going to be a really interesting one, how it actually plays out. But Proposition 117 is just saying that any time that the universities want to raise their tuition rates, they got to put it, a vote to the people, because that's a fee as a tax. So you're going to raise your fees, you got to put it to the people, because that's what the the Taxpayer Bill of Rights says to do. That anytime you raise taxes, you have to put it on an initiative, a referendum for the people. Anytime taxes is going to be raised, and I think Tabor is fantastic. I think that's the biggest problem with being in a, blue state where Democrats and, there's progressives and there's, neoliberals, there's liberals and conservative Democrats. But ultimately, since we're all blue, that means we got to worry. We're the tax and spenders, they say, and they're the, conservative, save your money type of people. That's the illusion. They usually run the deficits up higher than everyone else, and they pass, spend more, and then, anyways. But the Democrats, we just got to make sure we, stay within our means, make sure we don't overspend, make sure we stay within our budget. I think that's very, very important. That's why all these taxes always scare me, because, ultimately liberals are like, yeah, you don't want to, the nicotine, they said it was for schools and stuff, so should we tax nicotine for the schools? Okay, the homeowner, the Gallagher, they said that was for the schools too. It's all for the schools, right? No, it's for the general fund, just to fatten up the general fund so a bunch of political bureaucrats can spend our money however the fuck they please. So I'm not happy about the taxes, and we need to, I don't mind paying my fair share of taxes. I just think we just got to be careful as a blue state, as a progressive Democrat state. We have to make sure our shit functions. We got to make sure the buses run on time. We got to make sure our shit is functioning, right? Just as good, if not, better than the Republicans. So, all eyes on us. We, legalize marijuana first. We got the first gay governor. There's a lot of progressive stuff here going on in Colorado, but there's pockets of, red conservatism too. Okay, so Tabor for all enterprises proposition passes 53%, 1.5 million to 47%, 1.4 million. Proposition 116, this is reducing the state income tax from 4.63 down to 4.55%. 58% said yes, 42% said no. 42% was like, should we drop it down just a little bit? No. Okay, 1.7 million says yes, we should drop the state income tax. 1.3 million Coloradans says no, we should not drop the state income tax by a measly 0.08%. So I'm happy about that, Proposition 116. I'm happy about Proposition 117. We got to spend within our means, and the damn universities, they like to raise tuition rates for no goddamn reason. Now, if they raise tuition rates, I believe it has to go on the ballot. It has to go to the, on the initiative referendum. The people have to approve a tuition hike. And so we got, the regents and the school board, we got these, representatives that's supposed to make sure they're not hiking up our tuition, but universities are just notorious for hiking up tuition just, as just the cost of doing business, inflation cost or whatever. So every year they got to cover inflation. Oh, we're going to, soak the students, when at one point in time, college was free or near free, like $100 or something for students. So Proposition 16, we're going to lower the state income tax. That's good, 0.08%. We got Tabor for all enterprises. That's good. We got family medical leave. That's fantastic. Cripple Creek got a little bit of freedom, so that's, good. Let's see. What else is good? Proposition 113, fucking over the Electoral College, is fantastic. Proposition 114 is the Gray Wolves. And then Proposition 115, I'm going to get to 115 and then end off with 114. Proposition 114, 41% says no, and 49% said yes. 59% said no. 1.2 million versus 1.8 million, so that's a difference of 600,000 people. This is the late-term abortion ban, 4.5 months term abortion ban. Even with those numbers, I'm still actually, this shows you how liberal, how big of a blue state is Colorado. Well, when it comes to abortion, you can abort, up to 9 months. And so that's fucking psycho. That's fucking crazy. To have late-term abortions, you waited 8 months. 8 months and 3 weeks and 6 days. You waited 1 day before you went into labor to get an abortion? Why not just have the damn baby and put it up for adoption? Why would you kill, a 9-month-year-old fetus? It's as big as a fucking kid. It's as big as a baby. You're murdering that motherfucker. What, are you poisoning it? You sucking out its brains? You chopping off its head? How are you going to kill that fetus, that full-grown-ass baby? How can your conscience allow that? That's so fucked up. So right now, Colorado has no restrictions on abortion. Roe v. Wade says it's up to the states, and so the state of Colorado says you can abort up to 9 months. You cannot kill your kids. You cannot, there's, corporal punishments. You can't hit your kids either. They have, very strong laws about that here in Colorado, too. So, that's, I think that there's a balance between pro-life and pro-choice. And I believe that the progressives should draw the line at 8 months, because this almost got me. I don't believe in late-term abortions. The problem was this bill just says that, we're going to draw the line at 4 months, 4.5 months. And then we're going to make it a crime, and we're going to make it a crime against the doctor and against the woman, and they'll get a misdemeanor. And so they started adding all this other shit. But if they ever put in an issue, just, hey, do you agree or disagree with late-term abortion, I think people would say no. And if the progressives, if we as liberal progressives, as a blue state, if we're going to, preempt them from taking abortion away from us, coming from Kentucky, they almost got rid of all the abortion clinics. There was only one abortion clinic left open in Matt Bevins, Kentucky. So I don't ever want to get to that close whatsoever. So I did change my mind on this, and I voted, against it. So I'm happy that, Proposition 115 fails. But I do believe that if we draw the line, say at 8 months, let's say 8 months, you got 8 months to take care of the motherfucker. If you waited past 8 months, fuck you. That's bullshit. 8 months you had it to take care of it. Yeah, I know most people say and then also have those exceptions, right? If it's a medical emergency, life of the mother, all those exceptions, right? So 8 months, I think, is the line for late-term abortions with very few exceptions. I believe that abortion should be safe and legal, but also rare. It should be, I'm okay with abortion, but it should be rare. We shouldn't be using it as, birth control. And if you waited to 8 months, you got some other shit that's going on. There's, that's very irresponsible for everybody involved. They're saying it's life. You're cutting it so fucking close. You waited to 8 months. So I believe we should preempt them, draw that line at 8 months, and they'll never ever, if they say, I do not agree with late-term abortions, and if they ever ask that question, 4.5 months. What if they just ask that question and they change it from 4.5 months to 6 months? I think that they could reword that and eventually get it passed. So if we preempt them and we already draw it at 8 months, we've already passed a late-term abortion ban. Now the conservative Republicans, they can never slip that shit through. And so I do believe there is a balance between pro-choice and pro-life. Pro-life, they're saying it's fucking murder, and you're saying it's okay to murder up to 9 months. And with, there's a corporal punishment. There's, eventually they're cracking down. You can't hit your kids anymore in Kentucky, but you could always before. But they got a Democrat governor who's opposed to child abuse, so you can't hit your kids now. But, I need to know because, child abuse, 80% of Americans think it's okay that you don't think you can kill your child. You think you can kill a 9-month-old fetus? Do you think you can kill a 1-month-old baby? Do you think you can kill a 9-month-old baby? Do you think you can kill your kid at all? You brought it into the world. Can you take it out? Are you kind of that sick fucking psycho? No, you brought it into the world. Now it's its own person, and it's got all these American rights. It's a citizen. You ain't got nothing. You can't fucking you can't fuck that shit up. You could try to convince it and control it and terrorize it. But is that good? Are you trying to raise it to be strong or fucking scared all the time? Last but not least, the gray wolves. So Proposition 114, yes, 50%, no, 50%. 50.2%, 50.3% say yes, 49.66% say no. That's a difference of 1.4, a difference of 20,000. There's 20,000 vote difference when it comes to the gray wolves, with it being voted up yes. So Proposition 114, right now we are releasing the wolves, and hell yes, this was the most sexiest. Out of all of them, this was the sexiest initiative. Proposition 118, however, I think is the most responsible, most sexiest in terms of most mature and responsible, but the Gray Wolves thing is fantastic. This is the fact that it's a tight race. They're saying, let's see, there's a moral victory that's coming here. There's a Colorado law that says a recount comes if the high vote and the low vote is equal to or less than 0.5% of the highest vote tally. So you count the highest vote tally, 0.5%. That's the difference. Is it bigger than that difference? That's CRS 1-10.5-101, which says, except as provided in Section 1-10.5-106, Any expenses incurred in conducting a recount in any political subdivision shall be paid by the entity that certified the candidate, ballot question, or ballot issue for the ballot. Members of the canvass board who assist in any recount shall receive the same fees authorized for counting judges in Section 1-6-115. So that's the B. That was the second part. The first part was all about the numbers. But, basically if it's a razor-thin margin, then there's a recount. So, yeah, I probably should memorize how much the number is. But I'm excited. I feel like we're going to release the Gray Wolves. They're going to count all the written ballots, all the absentee ballots, and then we're going to get, a better sort of, what the overall official numbers are in a couple of weeks. But I bet you that the written ballots, the absentee ballots, so I bet we're going to release the Wolves, Colorado. So those are the initiatives. Those are ballot questions for Colorado. That's how it turned out. And fantastic, right? What a better, much more dynamic conversation we get to have here in Colorado compared to the stupid-ass conversation. I don't like that one. You like him? I don't like that one. You like that one? I don't like that one. I don't like that one. You like that one? Well, we got to vote for one of them because, what we going to do? So, yeah, November 5th, 2020. Who's the president? Who gives a shit? Colorado is strong. Peace out.